house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Over the Top updates and spoilers. Our house guest Dad's filming today and I can't stop laughing. Our house guest of the day is Shell and Andrew. Thanks so much for your support. You're awesome. I hope you're enjoying this season. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. I don't know what's so freaking funny, but I can't stop laughing. Okay, so yesterday the crackle/coke wars continue, and I don't mean like cocaine, I mean soda, if you guys missed that whole thing before. So the plastics were looking for the crackle bars, you got the late night jamboree looking for the bottle of Coke, but then things get crazy. It was all fun and games, and then somebody messed with Chrissy's laundry. So she was getting all upset. She was like, somebody went through my dirty clothes, and that's not okay. And I was just getting major flashbacks to BB18 with Natalie and her Ziploc bag full of undies that were tossed around during that veto competition. It was crazy. But anyway, Jason lets the plastics know Chrissy is very upset, and Shelby's like, well, someone went through our stuff too when they found the crackles because those were in the drawers. And she's like, whatever, who cares? And Jason's like, yeah, but she was really upset, so like we need to respect her or whatever. So they all agree they're gonna stay out of Chrissy's things, but that wasn't the end of it. Chrissy is crying to Neely, Jason, and Danielle about the whole dirty clothes thing. She's like, I'm too old for this shit. She calls the plastics trash. She says that she would swing at them if they were outside of the house. Wow. And she was like, leave my stuff alone. Which is kind of funny because she thought it was hilarious when Shane and Jason were messing with Shelby's stuff yesterday. Like, remember when they were rubbing their freaking sweaty armpits on her pillowcase? Yeah, that was gross, but she thought it was funny. So then she was saying that she hopes Shelby gets Ebola? Who says that? So amidst all of this craziness, Shane does end up finding the soda that was hidden in the cabinet in the bathroom. Congratulations, Shane. You're still like the most boring person in the house. Okay, so then the Plastics, Scott, and Justin were playing this game called What Are the Odds? So basically, if you're not familiar with this, one person will ask another person, what are the odds that you'd blank? And it's kind of like a dare. So then that person sets the odds. They say like, 1 in 20, 1 out of 10, whatever. And then that person and the person who made the dare both pick a number on the count of 3, and if that number matches up, the person has to do the dare. So they ended up coming up with some dares for the safety ceremony, and this was like really funny to watch. I'm glad that Justin is spending more time with the Plastics and Scott now. I don't know if that's going to stick if his alliance wins HOH next week, but we'll see. So the dares for the safety ceremony. Justin has to wear Morgan's bikini top over his shirt. Morgan put a zucchini down her shorts, so she has a freaking fake bulge. It was so funny. Whitney wore an eyeliner mustache, Alex wore some socks on her hands, and Shelby had these 2 pickles that were talking to each other like puppets. It was really funny. So yeah, it was time for the safety ceremony. They're all following through on their dares, but it was really sad because the late night jamboree was like, we're too cool to associate with everyone. So they stayed in the London room while the Plastics were all in the kitchen doing their dares. But like nobody was there to witness it besides them. So during the ceremony, Justin, Alex, Whitney, and Jason were all safe. They were all safe. And then after the ceremony was over, Scott was doing these high kicks down the stairs. That was his dare, but again, nobody else saw it. So whatever. Tree falls in the woods. If no one's there to hear it, did it actually fall? Or make a noise? Whatever. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. So then Justin lets the girls know, I had so much fun hanging out with you guys, and it's going to be interesting to see, is he going to end up working with them? Because a lot of times we see people start hanging out casually from different alliances, and that is kind of like a precursor to them actually working together, because they're like, wow, this person's actually really cool, I want to work with my friends. So I mean, maybe he will flip, I don't know. But a little while later, Danielle was crying to Chrissy in the kitchen. She's like, I just can't catch a break. I've been on the block the last few weeks. I got a punishment from the veto competition, and now I'm a have-not. It's awful. So then she's also upset that Shane is probably going to be on the block this week. She's not even considering herself going up. She's like, no, Shane's the target. He's going to go up. And it almost sucks more that I'm not up there. And she's like, I don't even want to think about playing this game without him. And she tells Chrissy that she's been crying in the toilet because she doesn't want Shane to see. That is one of the most pathetic things I've heard today. Oh my god. Okay. So then she's really pissed also because the plastics are like laughing and having fun with Justin, and she's saying they're safe every week, they don't have to worry like we do, and she calls them bitchy little snobs. Morgan was a have-not by herself for a few days. 2 of them are have-nots this week, and their people have been the only ones going home so far. So I do think they've been worrying about things, but okay, Danielle. So then last night, the Big Brother house really turned into Petty City. Shelby and Alex were setting up their have-not room nests on those spiderweb trampolines, and earlier in the day, Danielle tried to claim that big bed for herself and Shane because they can't spend 5 seconds apart, and Shane's not even a have-not this week, but he's going to be staying in there with her. So Shelby is like, I see that Danielle took my blankets. What's the deal with that? So Shelby decides she's going to take the big bed, and then she goes and gets Shane's comforter from his bed that he's not using, and Big Brother's like, no, you can't have that in there. You're have-not. So she like throws it on the floor. Jason sees it. He goes and reports back to Danielle. She's pissed. She's like, I was washing the blankets. But guess what? The great thing about the live feeds, you can flash back and see that she lied, because she did say earlier that she was going to take all the good blankets from them. So, yeah, we got it. We got it on that live feeds, okay? So then Jason is trying to calm Danielle down because she's, like, freaking out about it. He's like, it's not that serious. Shelby's putting on a show for her friends. Like, let her have her moment. So then Chrissy, she, you know, walks into this conversation. She's like, I want to see someone punch Shelby and knock her out at the rap party. What is with the violence? It's ridiculous. So then Shane and Danielle end up going into the have-not room around 3 a.m. and they're freaking macking it so loud. Everybody's waking up and they're just like, what the hell is wrong with you? So then this morning, Scott gets the HOH camera. Yay. And the rest of the day, the house guests were pretty much just chilling out. The second safety ceremony is tonight, so we'll find out who's nominated. And it's pretty safe to say that it's going to be Chrissy and Neely as 2 pawns. And then tomorrow morning, we'll find out America's nominee and see the veto competition. So it's going to be an interesting few days. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until tomorrow, much love.
Edit.